how are you doing? Today, we're going to deal with a very important topic. Tools that help us to detect when we face a scam. When, for example, they are sending us a fake email when they want to take us to a fake URL, a malicious web page, where they could probably steal our information, steal our passwords, etc. So let's talk about 7 tools that we can use. For this, let's start. The first one, I'm not going to put it as a tool I have on the screen, which is called Phishing, is a website where we can check if there is a phishing site or a fake site, but also because it allows us to report it at the same time. You can register on this website and report fake websites. I'm going to use the fish tank to look for a malicious website, a fake website. So let's look inside the searches that some people have done. Let's look at this one, for example. Look, this is a fake website, is verified to be a phishing site. Specifically, URL, xcode.no, 98 MBC, is already defined through this site with all the analysis it has done, with the reports it has received, that this is a malicious site. So I'm going to take this URL. If I try to open it, in fact, if I'm going to tell it to open the link, let's see what happens. Well, I have to enable JavaScript. We know it's a fake website. I have other security mechanisms, so I'm going to allow it to open of security. So I'm going to allow the JavaScript and look already at once. My other mechanisms, both the netcraft and the anti-malware, tell me that this is a phishing site. But these are not the tools that we are going to evaluate today. We are going to talk about other tools. So let's go back to Fish Tank to see, and I'm going to copy this link. Perfect, we copy it. The first tool we're going to talk about today is called Scam Search. Scam Search. It's a page that allows me to both report a scam and search for scam, as well as other scam mechanisms. In this case, we're going to place here the URL that found, right? And we are going to tell it to look for it, to see what happens, to see if it detects this as a scan. Here it tells us that, well, in this case, nobody has reported it yet within this engine. I'm going to show you several tools because, unfortunately, there is not a global world database that covers all the amount of scams in the world. That is why we need several tools to be able to make these queries. As you see, in this scam search tool, does not specifically show that there are no reports. You see, it tells us that if we have additional information, well, we can create a report about that site. So look, asks us for the name of the scammer, the email they're using to send it to us. And you can start helping the community by reporting fake websites that they send to you. Let's say deceptive emails or similar. All right. Then, well, scam search. You see, you can put here not only a link, but also an email address, or even a Bitcoin address, for example, website, phone numbers. So here we could put, for example, an email address, like, for example, David.Pereira@gmail.com. Let's see. He makes the query, and well, no reports found. Perfect. Let's go to another tool, VirusTotal. VirusTotal is a very interesting tool that we normally use to be able to determine if a file has malware inside it. But VirusTotal also allows us in this URL link to search for websites. So I can put here the misleading URL and check to see if any anti-malware engine has detected something malicious. And we see that in this case, 5 of them, both Bitdefender, CyberDar, WebRoot, and CRDFG Data, have detected malicious content within that URL. Then, already you saw that with the scam search, we did not find anything bad. With VirusTotal, yes. For that reason, it is important to contrast the results of several tools, and we cannot trust only one. So, well, here you see that at least 5 anti-malware engines in the world detected it. Perfect. Google also has a tool called Transparency Report. All these links I'm going to leave in the description. Do not worry. Here we can check the status of a website. This is basically technology that allows us to determine if a website is safe or not, if it is a legitimate website or not. So Google helps us, and well, here it tells us that it has not detected content that is not secure. That is, the site does not run malicious code as such. It is simply a hoax. But it does not contain, say, at the start, or Google does not detect it as malicious code. Well, let's go to another tool. This URL void tool also allows us to query a website to determine whether it has any kind of anomaly or not. So look, simply, all you need to do is enter the URL, and look, here it tells us if it is on blacklists, that is to say, on negative lists. And well, in at least 2 of 43. This domain was registered. 2018 is an old domain. Then we even have the information of who is if we need it. For example, we can see the information of who registered it, when it was registered, etc. So then we are going to place here that domain. I'm going to remove the additional, well, yes, there is a traffic light there, a traffic light there. Perfect. We are going to see the who is to see. The domain name was not valid. I'm going to remove the HTTP so that it doesn't take it as a URL. Let's see what happens. Palms, done. Let's see. Done. Then look here. We have the information of the who is of that domain. They registered it in Norid.no. Probably Norway. There is no more information. Perfect. It doesn't matter. The important thing here is that it is blacklisted. As you can see, tells us where the server is located. The geolocation is basically of the ISP, not necessarily of the malicious server. And here it tells us in which engines it was detected, both in PhishTank and in CRDF, which we had already seen. And here we can see more details. Let's see what they give us. I'm going to enable the scripts. Ready. Then, well, it tells us that here they detected this site, which is also a tool to search for malicious URLs. It is interesting also. We can put it inside the list of tools. Well, they tell us that it is registered. And here there is a huge list of domains that are malicious. As you can see, it is not recommended to visit them unless you are in a research work, etc. But well, here you see a list. Perfect. Is also on PhishTank. We already knew that. Perfect. Next tool. Is it Phishing? Org. Then this tool also allows us to determine if a website is malicious or not, or if it is phishing or not. And look, it tells us if it's phishing at once. Gives you the result. Very quickly. Did the analysis. Well, if you want, I'll do it again. Let's say check. And you will see that it tells us that it is phishing. This is another tool that you can use in your arsenal. You can use within your arsenal of tests. As you can see, it's very fast to achieve this. It is very fast to be able to look for this information. There is another service, which is Unmask.me, unmask.me, another very good tool, where we can place the website. Probably have to leave only the host. I will remove here the additional content, and well, we will verify if it is false or not. Then this tool begins to make a series of searches in databases, reviews the site, and well, it tells us, look, be careful, it's a malicious site. Then, is not seen as a trustworthy site, be careful, etc., etc. As you can see, they are tools that are very easy to use, very fast to use, that you should have in your favorites. And simply, when you have doubts about a specific site, well, you can consult at least 2 or 3 of them. There is an additional tool that I want to show you, which is this. This is a tool from Talos, which is a company of Cisco. Basically is a company that is in charge of making threat intelligence, handling of threat information, etc. Then they have sensors worldwide that allow them at a given time analyze the reputation of an IP address or the reputation of a file or an email. As you can see, you can search in most of these sites, not only for information about a URL, you can also check an email, or you can basically check a file in this case, etc. So look, here it tells us that within the reputation should not be trusted. Within the levels of reputation. Well, it's not trustworthy. It's a phishing site. You see. Then here, it gives us information about the owner, the host name, who is hosting it, let's say. Where is the hosting? Content details. Well, there is not much information there. But the important thing is that it is telling us that it is a malicious website that we should try to avoid. As you can see, most of these sites, as I mentioned earlier, also allows you to search for information about other aspects, not just URLs, for example, phone numbers. Right here you can see it in this tool, or emails, or in some cases, for example, virtual wallet addresses. So these are tools that I wanted to show you today so that you can enrich your arsenal of prevention, of awareness, or sensitization before the potential threats that exist on the internet, and that you please spread this type of information, this type of sites, so that the people that are close to you, and in turn, these people, to your loved ones, and to the people close to you, so that you spread this information, and that we make more and more difficult the life of cyber criminals. Because with these tools, we have some facilities and advantages. We could detect the malicious websites. Okay? So far, today's video, I hope you found it interesting. As always, take care, stay healthy, and never stop learning. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. To all my Patreons, to all the people who are supporting me on Patreon, there are more and more of you. 1,000 thanks for your support. See you.